A pleasant morning to you and welcome to the Break of Dawn newspaper review on 32 FM 94.9. I am Adenike Ademuago.
I'm Bolabo, famous school. Good morning, Denike. It's great to be here.
Good morning. Good morning. We have the dailies this morning, the Daily Trust, the Vanguard, the Premium Times, the Punch, and other newspapers that will be touching. First, from the Punch newspaper this morning, Atiku under fire for no votes, no contract remarks. 2023, UK, EU, Australia issue security alerts. Federal government revokes 3,402 mining tiles. Just by the logo of the Punch, you find explosions, rock South APC, PDP rallies. So the major story on the Punch this morning, rising petrol price hits 300 naira per litre. And there are riders to that. 1,000 fuel tankers stock at depot. Queues lengthen in Abuja, Lagos, others. Gridlock, Lagos limits filling stations to 7 hours per day sale. And still on the Punch, slain NSCDC officers' families get automatic employment. 3 more stories and we move to another paper. Kano, federal government probes 25 deaths from throat ailment. UN issues new COVID-19 rules for air travel. Core members need special life insurance for election rep. And that's all from the Punch this morning.
Quickly through the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, quite a number of headlines above the main plate. And here we have on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, despite CBN's directive, CBN bank ATM still dispensing ordinary notes. We have it as despite a directive by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to banks to load their automated teller machines, ATMs, with the redesigned Naira notes, financial donations coming from the ATM itself is still dispensing the old Naira note. And of course, still on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, we also have this how a strange disease is causing deaths among children in Kano. Mudslinging intensifies as the elections approaches. And we also have Murray Grains down Koki Kankes in late night epic. All right, and still on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, this says federal government revokes 3,402 mining titles, nets 14.59 billion naira in 5 years. And this also says a sell stolen cars to officers naval rating. And the last one here says old notes reconsider generate the 31st deadline, Sultan tells CBN.
And moving to the moving to the Premium Times, I beg your pardon. Embattled CBN Governor Emefiele meets with Buhari. And away from that, 2023, only unpatriotic Nigerians will vote for candidates with bad characters. Obasanjo. Makinde shuns Atiku Kowa's rally in Ibadan. Amid DSS ordeals, Buhari meets Emefiele in Abuja. CBN vows to sanction banks hoarding new notes. Terrorists abduct 4 students of Zamfara Health College, demand huge ransom. 2023 Appeal Court affirms Umoeno as Akwa Ibom PDP governorship candidate. Niger Assembly charges government to arrest killers of priests. 2023 Appeal Court sets aside nullification of Akwa Ibom APC governorship primary. And finally, and we go on our first commercial break, NJC condemns state government's failure to pay up benefits of retired judges. We go on a commercial break. When we come back, we'll be taking the analysis. Stay tuned.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
But trust you, Nana, one parallel. How you doing now? Fine, I be fine. Now, so small house party go in place tomorrow. Jubo Kese go expect you for here tomorrow.
What time?
6 p.m. sharp.
Why you dey rush talk now?
See, my credit goes finish.
For this glue economy, now your credit dey finish.
I beg tell me another thing.
Gas speedometer. No need to dey rush your call. Buy Glow SIM, and when you submit your NIN, then go first sama you up to free 20,000 naira for voice and data. And when you can't even subscribe to Glow, 11 kobo per second. Now to the make calls for as low as 11 kobo per second to all networks. It dey available to new and existing subscribers. Terms and conditions dey shall.
Glow Unlimited. Are you looking for a quality hybrid of solar and wind? Solar panel, inverters, street lights, wind turbine, batteries. Well, look no further. Greater Light Power Limited is here to serve you with uninterrupted power generation, which makes them different from others. Greater Light Power Limited offers American trained engineers for your installations. Contact Greater Light Power Limited at number 2 Ojo Badon Avenue, Old Bodija, Ibadan. For more information, call 0805-852-1994, 0817-759-5000. Website www.greaterlightpowerlimited.com. Greater Light Power Limited, bringing you a brighter life.
láti ìlọ mẹ́ka làlọ́dẹ you fit fly ní kẹjá lọ.
asalaamu alaikum gbogbo mùsùlùmí ilẹ̀kùn hajj 2023 ti ṣí sílẹ̀ fún gbogbo ẹni tó fẹ́ bá wa ṣèrìn àjò lọ́dún yìí. iléeṣẹ́ alálùbáríkà you fit fly ní pé gbogbo wa o. hajj ìtọ́dún ní yàtọ̀ kọjá àtàtẹ̀yìnwá. ṣé ti wá mọ̀ pé àtètè sùn ní àtètè jí. ọ̀pọ̀ ti ń fọ́ kọ́lẹ̀ níléeṣẹ́ you fit fly. ẹ̀yin náà tètè bá bọ̀ wá fọ́ kọ́lẹ̀ fún hajj 2023 tí ó wáyé láàrin ọjọ́ kẹẹ̀ẹ́dógún oṣù kẹfà sọ́jọ́ keje oṣù keje ọdún 2023 pẹ̀lú ọ̀pọ̀ ètò tó mú ìgbádùn rẹpẹtẹ dání. ilégbé ìrọ̀rùn tí ò jìnnà sí haram àti mọ́ṣáláṣí ànábì Mádínà. síyára ọ̀fẹ́ lójoojúmọ́, oúnjẹ àjẹdọ́wẹ́kẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀mẹ́ta lójúmọ́ tó fi mọ́ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ètò tí ó mú ká ẹ ṣe àṣepé hajj tọdún ní. a jẹ́ pé a máa fà kókò ṣòfò mọ́. ẹ wá darapọ̀ mọ́ àwọn hujjaj lọ́fíìsì you fit fly tó wà ní success house 7 up road olúyọlé main estate ring road Ìbàdàn tàbí kẹ́ pè 0703-711-7801. hajj 2023 pẹ̀lú you fit fly inshallah àjọ lọ ni.
kò sírú kan láwùjọ òkúta kò sírú yọ̀lé èpẹ̀ kò sírú Jupiter gas lásìkò yìí àyàfi tá a bá ń para ọ̀tanra wa tómi bá ń jóná ẹni kí n kérò ẹ̀ wá Jupiter gas lójúlówó iléeṣẹ́ gáàsì tó ń ta afẹ́fẹ́ gáàsì ìdáná pẹ̀lú ìwọ̀n tó pé pérépéré wọn ò ní ta afẹ́fẹ́ díẹ̀ gáàsì díẹ̀ kò síbi tọ́wọ́jà irin òde ńlọrọ̀ iléeṣẹ́ wọn wọ́n ní mọ́tò tó lọ ń ta gáàsì fáwọn oníbàárà wọn lẹ́yìn odi Ìbàdàn láti Ìbàdàn dé Wó dókè Ògùn dékìtì àti káàkiri ibòmíì gbogbo alára tó ta gáàsì ẹ máa yọ̀ torí pé Jupiter gas wà ń kalẹ̀ fún yín ẹ máa bọ̀ ní Jupiter gas iléeṣẹ́ tá a mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ gbé kalẹ̀ fún rọrùn ẹni gbogbo ni nítorí kò sí mo débẹ̀ ń rí gáàsì rà owó wọn ò sì wọ́n gajara lọ àwọn nǹkan èlò ara gáàsì náà sì tún wà fún títà Jupiter gas wà ní kìlómítà 134 ayékalẹ̀ lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ ilé epo NNPC lójú ọ̀nà mọ́sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ Ìbàdàn sí ìlú Èkó tẹlifóònù 08059132979 Jupiter gas ojúlówó iléeṣẹ́ gáàsì tó ń ta ìwọ̀n tó pé pérépéré.
It's a beautiful morning, Naija. Don't forget to deposit your old Naira notes into your Momo wallet at the nearest Momo agent outlet before January 31st, 2023. First dial *671# to open the Momo wallet, then call our toll-free number 671 to locate the Momo agent near you.
Stay tuned to 32 FM 94.9.
Welcome back. It's 44 minutes past the hour of 6, and this is still Breaking Dawn and coming to you from 32 FM 94.9. All right, I'm Bolabo, Famous School.
And I'm Adenike Ademuwagun. Professor Ojedokun joins us this morning. Good morning, Prof.
Well, top of the day to you, and it's a pleasure, of course.
Good morning, Prof.
Good morning. All right, so this headline says, "You're well received." Buhari tells Emefiele as a call for a sack of the embattled central bank governor may have hit the brick wall as the president welcomed back the CBN chief who recently returned to the country from his annual leave and all of that. Now, obviously, Emefiele has the president's backing, but could this current CBN governor be the most embattled CBN governor yet in the history of Nigeria?
Well, is it obvious that he really has his backing? The reason why I say is because the instruments of state, the DSS, and the alike, have been pursuing, and some will say haunting Emefiele. In fact, one can say Emefiele did not have a good annual leave because the expectation was that at some point it would be picked up. And news has it that if not for the fact that it was welcomed by a contingent of soldiers, it probably would have been picked up. So we are not really sure where this government stands. Does President Buhari's read, does it run through the old breadth and length of this government. But we can just say safely, since he was able to go into Aso Rock and able to walk out of Aso Rock and have a meeting with the president, we can say safely for now that he seems assured that he's not going to be arrested. But we are not really sure where the government stands, and we really don't know what's going on. The government should act as one, and it doesn't seem as if they're acting as one.
All right, we have to go on a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll continue with the analysis. Stay tuned.
32 FM 94.9.
I go follow the man way, sabi the road, oh. I go follow the man way, sabi the walk, oh. I go follow the man way, go unite the people. Unify. I go follow the man way, go rescue the nation. I go vote Atiku, Mr. Unifier. I don't articulate, oh, articulate, oh. I don't articulate, oh, articulate, oh. I don't articulate, oh, articulate.
PDP! Power to the people! Now, PDP Presidential Campaign Council sponsored this message.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
All right, you're welcome back to the Break of Dawn newspaper review on 32 FM 94.9. Still on the analysis this morning.
We still have Professor Jedokun with us in the studios, and I was going to take you up, Prof, on this issue of back and forth with the price of per litre of petrol. It appears that silently, or will I say quietly, the federal government has gone ahead to adjust it to 185 naira per litre. And now some papers are also saying this morning that it's as big as 300 naira per litre. Now, why is the federal government not being sincere with all of those processes?
Well, I don't think they're being insincere. I just think they're not in control. I think the 185 is not an indication of what is being sold. I think it's an admission of the fact that the 175 or 174 is simply not realistic. I think it appears as if market forces have taken hold. And then you must ask the question, if market forces have taken hold, then where is the subsidy? And I've always explained that a subsidy is static. It doesn't go up. So it's there, but the price, the landing cost continues to go up. And as far as we continue to rely on importation, then of course the inconsistency in the market is going to come to play. And part of the report also said about 1,000 tankers are stuck somewhere, from that point of view. I think people are saying that Dangote's refinery is coming on board January 24th, and that might impact on the situation. I don't, it should, but I don't know yet whether it will. But what is quite clear is that the government has lost it when it comes to its policy on subsidy and its policy on availability of petrol. There's simply no petrol.
Even with the advent of the NNPCL.
Well, the NNPC Limited, as they now call it, there's no difference. I haven't seen any discernible difference yet. I think it's a change of nomenclature, a change of name, but the reality is that it's not arm's length yet. It's not operating as a private company, and it still seems to be the same old NNPC. They will need to prove us wrong otherwise.
All right, this headline says CBN to sanction banks hoarding new naira notes. The Central Bank of Nigeria has vowed to sanction any commercial bank found hoarding the new naira notes, saying it had produced enough for distribution to all the banks across the country. Now, I personally have acquired just one new naira note since it came out, and it wasn't even from the ATM, because even the ATMs are still dispensing old notes. And shouldn't the CBN be looking at actually extending the deadline?
Well, I'm astonished because I've not even handled, I've been around for about a week and a half now, and I've not handled any new Naira note. I simply haven't handled
Incredible.
it. The only place I saw a new Naira note was in one of the light Marys I was able to attend. Yes, I think if these notes are not available, if the banks don't have them in their vault, then of course the CBN has to consider the supply issue, and maybe an extension will be in view. But I find it quite astonishing that this money is in the vaults of these banks, and these banks are not dispensing. I honestly do not understand the rationale. Is it that there's too much demand going on? But also what I've noticed, and I'm not trying to be cynical, and I don't want to give fuel to the kidnappers and so on and so forth, is that you also realize that kidnapping has gone up. And there's probably a reason for that, from that point of view, but we'll go into that later. But yes, CBN has to consider whether to extend the period of time if these notes are not available from that. But a lot of people have just resorted to transactions online or transactions via transfers and so on, to just overcome any anxieties related to that.
All right, let's quickly look at what has been going on in terms of the rally itself for the presidential campaign. And now, obviously, for what we're saying, there is this, development that has to do with crisis in terms of explosion, like what we saw in Rivers State and, of course, Edo State. Now, what is this point at? What is the indication for us as a people as we head towards the polls itself?
Well, I don't think it's necessarily an indication of what will happen during the election day itself. But what is clear is that some people have these devices and some people are heaven bent, well, some will say hell bent on ensuring that rallies, do not hold. Rallies do not determine elections. Rallies are where messages are supposed to be passed across, and innocent bystanders are the ones that get the brunt of this explosion. So it's madness, of course, and of course the mischief makers are the ones behind this. But it is the duty of the police, it is the duty of the DSS. Those are the kind of people they should be chasing. Intelligence should lead them to establish who are those responsible, because we can't have it. It's not on having violence during campaign rallies and so on and so forth. But I think what it's also going to do is it may dissuade some people from going to campaign rallies. Having said that, the kind of people that go to campaign rallies, I'm sorry to say, are people that are bussed in. And many of these people bussed in are given allowances, you understand, for feeding and so on and so forth. So whether it's going to stop those people from coming is another matter entirely.
Okay, away from that, this says that Buhari approves 1.9 trillion naira for NNPC road projects and approved the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, NNPCL, request to invest 1.9 trillion in the reconstruction of 44 federal roads under the tax credit policy. Do you want to help us shed some light on the NNPCL investing in road projects? Is this supposed to be a corporate social responsibility?
I think it's something similar, but they're following in the footsteps of Dangote and some other companies. And what these companies do essentially is rather than pay tax, they use that money that would have gone into tax, to construct roads. And of course, they get waivers for that. And I think this is what NNPC is now trying to do. It's quite a lot of money, from that point of view. I think the disadvantage there sometimes is that the money which would have come to the Treasury, which the Treasury could have used for education and other things, has to be specified. It has to go for those roads. You don't have any flexibility. That's part of it. But some would argue that in terms of infrastructure, it delivers. But you have to ask the question, if we deliver infrastructure in terms of roads, and NNPC does that, and we've not got a handle on security, then the infrastructure is not good for anything, from that point of view. So it's a good thing, but it reduces the flexibility of government in terms of the revenue that it generates and in terms of what it can spend it on.
All right, this is coming from Tinubu, and this is from the This Day newspaper. Tinubu is saying, if elected, we will eliminate corruption. And that's a mantra in which this particular government came into power with. Yes. Now, how much more do we believe all of this?
Well, a lot of people like to talk about the antecedents of Asiwaju, and when they talk about his antecedents, they go back to Lagos State. And you have to ask the question, when he was in Lagos State, was corruption eradicated? And since he has sway over Lagos State, since, he's been, since 1999 till date, you have to ask the question, is corruption been eradicated there? And the answer will be a resounding no. And of course, it belongs to the APC. The APC came on that promise and that mantra that corruption will be dealt with. We have 8 years down the line. It hasn't happened. So what magic wand is Asiwaju going to bring to bear? I'm not going to write off Asiwaju, but what I'm going to say is that if you go by the past, then the future does not look bright in terms of corruption, from that point of view. But what he has said, which makes sense, is that if you increase credit, if you allow people to have credit cards to borrow and so on and so forth, then corruption will cease, will go down, will be diminished. So I think he has a plan, but not a lot of people will be hopeful because of the past record of APC.
And still on Asiwaju, apparently Obasanjo made a statement yesterday, only unpatriotic Nigerians would vote for Tinubu, others. This is from the Daily Post, and while he was declaring his support for Obi against the APC and the PDP presidential candidates, and he said something in regards of, I will be punished by God if I know what is right and I did not put it where it should be, and I quote him now. Now this is clear-cut backing, but aside from this, could there be another motive for this level of support aside his conscience, which he's talked about here, and the perceived due rotation to the east, which Baba seems to strongly believe? Do you think there might be another motive here?
I don't know what the motive is, but OBJ sometimes can be very arrogant in terms of his analysis. Yes, OBJ is one of the greatest Nigerians that have ever existed. But I think, for him to say that people are disloyal if they support unpatriotic, that's the word he used, if they support Asiwaju, I think it's plain wrong. I can fundamentally disagree with people supporting Asiwaju, but I don't think it's because of lack of patriotism. And I think Baba cannot aggregate, you understand, his own judgment of whether people are patriotic or not and reduce it to electoral fortunes of one or two people. Does he have any other objective? I think Obasanjo just feels that the 8 years when he spent and when he laid some ground rules and when he established a pattern of governance, getting rid of national debt, bringing in the mobile phones, restoring the middle class, restoring Nigeria's identity or reputation globally, he feels that has been eroded, and he feels, to whether justifiably or not, that maybe Peter Obi will be the one to restore it. But as the other thing that Baba thinks is that you need a person, an energetic person, and if we don't have an energetic person, we'll not be able to get to where we should go. But that's Baba's own view. It doesn't mean that it's the prevalent view or the right view.
All right, let's take this from the Nation newspaper, and this has to do with the G5 governors. And now Atiku Ayu's deputy Sean Atiku's rally in Ibadan. And now many people have been saying, if you are actually listening to some of the speeches coming from that particular rally yesterday, they were saying, as a matter of fact, Makinde gave them the podium to actually go ahead with the rally, and of course it means that he supports them. Now, but them not being physically there, what does it portend, especially for the Atiku campaign itself?
First and foremost, I don't think Makinde, the governor of Oyo State, has any option other than to allow them, if he has allowed APC and other political parties. I think the problem that Makinde faces is that the G5 governors haven't taken a position, and so they're in abeyance at the moment. But it tells you that the PDP is presently divided. It tells you that the PDP has a problem. And the problem is that, yes, you're asking people to support you for the governorship, but when it comes to the presidential election, people are going their separate ways. It means people could be confused. The governor, Makinde, says that people are more sophisticated than that. I beg to disagree. I think it's a very risky move because if people's mind, you get to the ballot box and it takes some level of sophistication to determine, I'll vote for PDP, I'll vote for Labour, I'll vote for APC, I'll vote for NNP or Showore's party and so on. It takes a level of sophistication and analysis, and I'm not sure that the people have the time, the patience, you understand, or even, you understand, the acumen to be able to do that. So yes, it would appear that Makinde is playing it both ways. It's giving audience, of course, in terms of the use of the podium, but at the same time, it's not there physically to back his own presidential candidate.
Oluremi Tinubu is in the news, and the headline here says NYC overdue. Now, there was a bill that was seeking to amend the existing act to make the compulsory one-year national youth service for under 30 graduates optional. It suffered a setback at the House of Representatives yesterday. Before now, when you're over 30, you get an exclusion certificate or whatever. But the bill was to say that even if you're under 30, you should be able to optionally, if you want to opt out of the NYC, go for it. And the former First Lady of Lagos State was the one who sort of pioneered this thing. So apparently, I do not know why the bill was not passed through, or how will I put it now? Reinvention is necessary for survival. What is the essence of a scheme that doesn't seek reformation? And most of the time, these graduates finish NYC into real life employment challenges.
Well, first and foremost, the NYC of today is not the NYC that people like myself served on. During my time, you could hardly get a redeployment. Wherever you are posted to. But the Nigeria where I served was a Nigeria that was at peace with itself. The Nigeria of today is not necessarily at peace with itself. So you can't blame parents from wanting to relocate their children for where they are. So it's man who knows man, or woman who knows woman, in terms of where you get to serve the juicy places. Should it become should it become optional? My own view is that you either have the NYC as it is now, or you scrap the entire thing. But some would argue that at least it gives them a breather of a year to earn some good money and at least to do some job of some sort. Yes, I agree with you that it should be reformed in some sort of way. But for reformation doesn't mean making it optional. Reformation might mean we begin to look at the duration of the NYC itself. You begin to look at where people need to be able to serve. You begin to look at the pay, whether the pay it should be part-time or full-time. I think an NYC which authorizes and can be part-time while people pursue some of their studies, you understand, should be what we should allow. Already people do it anyway, but NYC doesn't seem to recognize the fact that people do their masters, diplomas, and at the same time NYC. So I think it should be more flexible rather than just straight down the line, do it 24 hours service or whatever it is, from that point of view. And I think you should also have the option of being able to spend 6 months here and 6 months elsewhere. It's sort of rotational NYC. That's my view anyway. I don't know whether that makes any sense.
All right, we go on another commercial break. When we come back, we'll be taking your calls and your reactions this morning. Stay tuned.
Here and now, the Glow Festival of Joy promo.
It's a life-changing prize galore from Glow.
A stadium full of gidigba prizes to be won.
20 brand new houses.
24 brand new cars.
100 generators.
200 sewing machines. 1,000 rechargeable fans.
And thousands upon thousands of other unbelievable prizes.
Just dial *611# to enter and win in the Glow Festival of Joy promo. Buy up to 20,000 naira data during the promo period and you could win a house. And if you recharge or load data from 500 naira to 10,000 naira monthly, weekly or daily, you stand a chance to win a brand new car plus other great prizes.
Don't just sit around scratching your chin.
Dial *611# now to enter and win. Terms and conditions apply.
Glow Unlimited.
How far will she go for power in a world where secrets, ambition, and betrayal thrive? How fearless will she get in her quest to become a gold mogul? For Wura, she will cut corners. She will do whatever it takes.
Get ready for Showmax's first Nigerian original telenovela, Wura, coming January 23rd, only on Showmax. Subscribe from 1,200 naira monthly. Sign up now at showmax.com.
When something correct go show, we go see her well. Now we time to choose. Waiting correct for Naija. Correct. Light when no get head, the correct. Nah, he no correct. All the promise and fail, the correct. Nah, he no correct. Stable power supply. Correct. PRP and color. Correct. Color. Correct for the people. Now here we need make Naija for the correct. Correct for the people. With PRP, party with the golden key. Correct for the people.
Vote the correct team of Kola Abiola and Haro Zago for president and vice president.
PRP victory!
ẹ̀yin tèmi báwo ni o ṣe wá.
bá a ṣe ń bojú wẹ̀yìn tá à ń rí yín ló ń wú wa lórí ẹ̀yin lẹ wà ń bẹ̀ táwa fi ń dẹmọ fakọsí milẹ̀ngbẹ̀ dábìrà ìtẹ̀lé àti àròtì yín lójúpọ̀ ìbánidọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ wa gbogbo lọ́pàá ìtẹ̀síwájú wa ẹ̀yin tí a lórí Facebook àríyìn ẹ̀ dúró re ẹ̀yin tí Instagram ẹ gbáyì lórí Twitter ẹ wálẹ̀ ẹ̀yin tí YouTube ẹ fòró wíwà ń bẹ̀ ẹ̀yin ṣeyebíye sí wa kílẹ̀ yín tẹ̀ ń gbé gànà wòrán dúró dè ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa láwọn ojúpọ̀ ayélujára wa gbogbo pẹ̀lú 32FM 949 Ìbàdàn 32FM 949 Ìbàdàn àdúpẹ́ o iyì yín pọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ wa bí iyanrìn òkun ó pọ̀ yẹ́yẹ́.
aṣọ pọ̀ tó yìí.
It's It's time to enjoy fast and reliable internet connection for less.
It's time to go big in the INT'L Home Broadband All-Time Mega Offer.
It's time to take advantage in the INT'L Home Broadband All-Time Mega Offer. Get a MiFi with up to 125 gigabyte bonus data for just 5,000 naira, or a router with up to 240 gigabyte bonus data for just 10,000 naira. Visit any INT'L shop or www.airtel.com.ng/HBB now.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
I go follow the man where sabi the road. I go follow the man where sabi the walk. I go follow the man where go unite the people. Unify. I go follow the man where go rescue the nation. I go vote Atiku, Mr. Unifier. I don't articulate. I don't articulate. I don't articulate.
PDP!
Power to the people!
Now, PDP Presidential Campaign Council sponsor this message.
32 FM 94.9.
And we're back. The phone line 0705 5000 949 and 0809 7949 to share your thoughts this morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Prof.
Good morning.
I want to say that you're always right on point. I think for about Basojo, outside is patriotism and the fact that the previous government has eroded some of the legacies that it made. It's not fair to say waiting for other candidates, except your anointed candidates, is unpatriotic, because in the past we have also seen some other candidates that he has anointed, which he was unable to bring to bear to say what they should do, and then the obedience. The obedience seems to be on the level of the new breed. So the point is, when you keep up-nothing with the past leaders, it doesn't look as if they will allow you to rest when it comes to your government. That has always been the issue. For NYC used to be the pride of the nation. I think it's due for reform. I might not be of the view that it should be optional, but I think that they can increase the amount being paid and also make it a way that they can use them teaching another employment the way it's being done. Because if you scrap NYC, you increase the unemployment in the nation.
All right. Thank you so much. Hello, good morning.
Tenika, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning. Olavo. And Prof, good morning. This is okay. Prof, first, I agree with you that they might not know what to do. But Prof, I have that belief that they are also being insincere in terms of the fuel issue. Some of us would call in them. We said they had a motive. It was to increase it. And incidentally, I think it's come to pass. But what they will come out to tell us now is they never did anything like that. We all knew that anytime they take action, they deny. So that is one of the... So I actually believe, Prof, that they are being insincere. They've never really been sincere in any of the issues that they have dealt with Nigerians. So I have a feeling the insincerity is playing in. I don't know if I agree that they don't know what to do. Because definitely the money we are talking about, the subsidy money, they are spending it. Why would they not know what to do when they are wasting it? And on NYSC, like you rightly said, Prof, it is actually due for reform. Some of us that went through it in the 90s, we knew the advantage. Like me, I am married to somebody from the South. It was as a result of my serving in the South. I am from the East. It's due for reform. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, 0705 5000 949 and 0809 7949 to share your thoughts this morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. My name is Ayo from Bagaya.
Please go on.
Concerning this Obasanjo carry Obi up and down. Anything that make the chances of Asiwaju and Atiku slim to win this election, it means Obi is zero on this contest. That is my feel.
All right. Thank you so much. Hello.
Now let's take some few comments on Facebook as well. We have Omar Adekunle this morning, and he's saying there is no doubt that the APC has failed us completely as regards their campaign promises. They told us to fix our refineries. They told us to strengthen our naira. They told us we will be buying fuel at cheaper price. They told us subsidy was a scam. They told us that they would revive our economy, but now it is unfortunate the reverse is the case. There are nothing to show for it. All promises have been cancelled. What a deceitful government.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, this is Olode from Elele. As much as we respect the view of our Baba, Obasanjo, he is not in a position to tell us who inherit heaven because of voting for one person or the other. What he sees from his own, we need to just give us some guidelines to what anybody will vote for, not trying to condemn anybody. What he thinks it might be right, might not be right from my own perspective. So I think Baba just need to play safe, not to go too much to the extreme. And our dear governor, I believe he needs he takes Atiku than Atiku needs him. So he needs to play. He has some points why he don't show up yesterday. Number one, he has been removed as the Southwest head because of the problem. And he has dates with some people he needs to fulfill. But one thing I believe, anybody that is close to him needs to let him realize he needs the Atiku group that they need him. Have a nice day.
All right. Thank you so much. Still on Facebook. Good morning to Lokwademi says, good morning. It's quite disheartening that Nigerians can be experiencing this fuel scarcity despite being one of the leading oil producing nations. What's going to be the fate of average Nigerians now that the fuel price is 185 per litre at this critical time in the country? And that's a long one. We'll just take a call. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Ramesh calling from Manara. Thank you. About the price scarcity and what the Hitman said, I don't know why the federal government of today like this even in masses. Because the Hitman chairman said some marketers they are selling 250 naira per liter from the depots from those customers. That means when they bring that fuel, the filling station they're not selling between 250 to 300 naira. And Mr. President is the Minister of Petroleum. He's supposed to come out and shed more light on this issue instead of deceiving us. So I want to appeal to all Nigerians that they should use their PVC to show an happy with the APC government. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. 0705 5000 949 and 0809 7,949 to react to any of the stories this morning. Hello.
Hello. Good morning, ma.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Comrade John Felix. Calling from Mayor.
Please go on.
All right. The issue of about Obasanjo, everybody has right of his own opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And as a statesman, he has all what it takes to advise Nigerians because he has been there before. He knows what is there and knows what power means. Two, the issue of APC promises. I just want all Nigerians to understand that nobody is perfect, right? But what APC promised, for example, says that the subsidy is a scam when they are doing 2014. But now the subsidy increased under their watch. Remember that Jonathan left bag of rice 6,500. We know how much they are selling it now. All Nigerians should wake up from our sleep and vote APC out and PDP out. Let us choose the fresh blood. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Thank you so much. Comments on Facebook.
All right. Let's take this from Timothy Okere says, good morning, Denike and Bolabo. I concur completely that it's only unpatriotic Nigerians that will vote for candidates with bad character. Some of these candidates have questionable characters and should be voted out by patriotic Nigerians. All right. I guess you have that of Tulokwe already. And this Omotayo Luarutsimi Onobamiro says, good morning. There are people that travel out with the Naira intending to come back after many months. In Nigeria, we do not seem to care about others. The Naira policy should have taken everyone into consideration.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Amen.
from Ibadan.
All right, please go on.
The issue of insecurity in Nigeria, according to what's happening in this state. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go on.
So, there are some police on the highway and soldiers on the highway. Then all they know is to attack these traveler drivers, these commercial drivers.
Okay, let's just take one more comment on Facebook and move on to other and wrap up the show this morning. Honorable Akinkunmi, okay, that one is gone. This one from Omo Basham Abiola says, beautiful morning to everyone in the studio. On the issue of insecurity, honestly, only a stupid person will continue doing things the same way and expect the same results, different results. I can't just understand why it is so difficult for federal government to be more proactive on this issue of insecurity. Any final thoughts as we leave the studio this morning?
No, really, it's just that we just hope that the government will ensure that there's accountability in terms of PMS, petroleum. We can't continue to suffer like this. A lot of people are suffering, and let's hope the government intervenes and does the right thing.
All right, thank you so much, Prof, for coming on. My name is Adenike Ademuago.
And of course, my name is Bolabo Famous School. And I thought the person who wrote on the Facebook was actually talking about you. Consideration for 1,000 naira new notes in case if it runs out. All right, pleasant morning to you all out there.